If you've been scrolling through endless lists of generators, watching YouTube comparisons, and still feel like you're stuck in a loop of bigger is better, or is propane really worth it, this review is going to clear things up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last couple of weeks looking at what a true home backup generator needs to do, reading a handful of buyer comments, and even chatting with a few folks who have already put one of these machines to the test during a recent storm. The goal here isn't to toss a laundry list of specs at you, it's to walk through the day-to-day reality of owning the Westinghouse 18000 peak watt tri-fuel portable generator and help you decide if it actually makes sense for your household. First things first, let's talk about the scenario that pushes most people to consider a backup generator. Imagine it's a summer night, a sudden thunderstorm knocks out the whole block, and you're left with a dark kitchen, a dead refrigerator, and a baby monitor that's just a blinking LED. You're not looking for a piece of equipment that can run a single outlet for a few hours. You need something that can keep the fridge running, power a few lights, maybe keep a small well pump alive, and do it all without you having to constantly switch fuel cans. That's where the tri-fuel claim matters. The Westinghouse unit can run on gasoline, propane, or natural gas, and the ability to hook it up to a natural gas line means you could theoretically have hours of runtime without ever touching a fuel container. If you're still on the fence, consider that flexibility the first time you have to actually use the machine. Who should buy this generator? The sweet spot is a family home or a small to medium business that can't afford a whole home standby system but still wants reliable power for essential appliances: refrigerator, sump pump, a few circuits for lights and internet. If you live in an area where power outages are brief and infrequent, a smaller 5000 watt model might be enough. But if you've experienced a 2-day outage before, or you have a home office that can't tolerate any downtime, the extra capacity of 18,000 peak watts gives you a margin of safety. The ability to handle a 122/40-volt transfer switch means you can wire it directly into your main panel, or have an electrician do it, so you're not stuck pulling extension cords from a single outlet. Who should skip it? If you're a weekend camper who only needs to power a camp stove and a phone charger, this is overkill and will sit idle, costing you money you could spend on a compact 1000-watt inverter. Also, if you have a strict budget and can't accommodate the weight, this unit tips the scales at over 300 pounds, then the portability claim becomes more of a marketing line than a practical benefit. It's not something you'll comfortably lift into a trunk and toss in your garage. You'll need a small dolly or a couple of strong friends to move it around. Now, let's break down the practical strengths. The biggest win is the tri-fuel flexibility. In the field tests I read about, users liked that they could start on gasoline for the first few hours, then switch to propane once the tank emptied, all without having to shut the machine down. That transition is seamless because the generator has an automatic fuel selector. For a homeowner who already has a natural gas line, hooking the unit up means you could run it indefinitely during a prolonged outage. Just remember, you'll need a proper transfer switch to keep the backfed power from endangering line workers. Another strength is the low total harmonic distortion, under 3%, which is a subtle but crucial point for anyone with sensitive electronics. People with home offices, gaming PCs, or medical equipment have reported that their devices didn't freak out or restart during operation. That's because the generator produces a cleaner sine wave compared to cheaper models that tend to buzz and can corrupt data or cause UPS batteries to drain faster. The plug-in, power-up concept also translates well in real life. The unit comes with a built-in electric start that you can fire up from a distance using the remote start key fob. In a storm, you don't have to crawl into a dark shed to pull a cord. You can press a button on the remote while you're still inside, and the generator whirs to life. That feature alone saved one reviewer from a near-panic moment when the house lost power while the family was still eating dinner. What about the weaknesses? The most common trade-off people mention is noise. An 18000 peak watt generator naturally produces a louder roar than a smaller unit, and while Westinghouse includes a muffler, it still registers around 72 decibels at 23 feet. That's roughly the volume of a dishwasher running, noticeable, but tolerable if you're inside a well-insulated house. However, if you have a backyard patio or are hoping to run the generator while the kids